What's going on, guys? For Complex News, it's 360 with Speedy Mormon. I'm him, and we have a special guest in the building today, Michael B. Jordan. Mike, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, Speedy? I'm doing great, man. Like I said, it was a glorious Monday.
Glorious Monday indeed. And you've been on a crazy press run, but all of the interviews that I've seen you do have been in similar looking locations. How much better is it doing press from the crib or wherever you're at, not having to travel, not having to have a million people pull up to see you? Do you prefer this?
It's different. I think we've gotten used to doing most of our business from home, whether it was like during the quarantine and everybody was on Zooms, now like figuring out how to do promotional press and keep things fresh. I don't know. I could do the news anchor joint. I have basketball shorts on and a nice,
That's what I got on.
So it's something comfortable about being at the house. But you do miss that in-person kind of energy when you do get a chance to talk to a journalist, in person in that environment. So I think it's 50-50 right now.
The film Without Remorse is out now on Amazon Prime. It is like an action movie. It's a Tom Clancy joint. How would you describe it to those who maybe haven't seen it yet?
I would say it is a revenge thriller, origin story, high octane, high energy. It's grounded in a lot of character, a lot of heart. I feel like, John Kelly, he kind of starts off in this thing, loyal to his country, dedicated to his family, loyal to his wife. And, when he gets betrayed, he's on a nonstop mission to get answers. And the movie really doesn't slow up, until we kind of reach the end. So it was a lot of fun making this one.
I think it's important to see people that look like you and myself in roles like this, because a lot of times it goes to a lot of the familiar faces. But how important do you think it is?
These were the type of movies that I watched growing up. I always enjoy watching, my favorite, actors, Tom Cruise, action hero, you had, Jackie Chan, Wesley Snipes, those type of guys. So to be able to kind of actually do my own stunts, to be able to actually get into a character where we're just having fun, but at the same time, it's representing so much, that representation, to give other little kids, the next generation, oh, okay, cool. That's something maybe I can do. That's something that I want to, actually want to play one day if they want to pursue, the arts in that type of way. But going from a kid at home playing Rainbow Six video games to actually being in the live action version of that is it's crazy how things came full circle.
Now, this is a movie that you kind of had to be intentional about. You wanted to make it realistic to what, your experience would be like in real life. And so, there's a scene where you throw a lighter and gasoline on a car and it ignites into flame. And then you come out of the car and you knew that, police would be there. And then, so you said, I'm military, don't shoot. And obviously it's important for you to express that, but then, I'm sure this shot many years ago or 2-3 years ago. But then, now we see just a few weeks ago, there's a army officer pepper sprayed by police. And so when you see stuff like that happen, and even you in your mind knew that was something to be intentional, what comes to mind for you?
I mean, that we got a lot of work to do. I think in my lane and what I'm able to kind of the messaging, in the imagery that I'm able to kind of to accomplish, in the movies and television, is representing life, is representing the Black experience, authentically, so we shot that a couple of years ago, but it could have been yesterday, it could be tomorrow. So just being able to show through our art, through my art that, it's a struggle that we still got to face every day. Hopefully we got people that sees this movie. It's not trying to, it gets people to think differently. It's not a political film. It's not, it doesn't have that purpose. It's not that type of vehicle. But at the same time, everything that I do, things that I'm a part of, I want it to have some type of meaning. It has to be grounded in reality. It has to say something, So whether it's, hiding the medicine in the food, you know what I mean? You give a little bit of sugar with the medicine, you know what I mean? Whatever that may be, this is kind of like my version of that, so.
Some people may look at you, Michael B. Jordan, and be like, oh man, he's successful, he's famous and rich, and so he doesn't have to deal with these experiences. But I imagine that that's absolutely not the case. Have you had instances where, things could have gone left when it comes to like law enforcement and police and things like that?
Yeah, man, I think, like I said, growing up in Newark, New Jersey, shit, no matter where you're from, to be perfectly honest, you could, sometimes, you get into altercations or situations where, they might want to go the extra mile just because you are somebody that's, famous or known, to prove a point that you aren't special, or you still have to adhere by certain situations. So it's like, it's a gift and a curse, and it depends on where you at, what I'm saying, who you with, who you're encountering, but it's definitely a, it's real, every day is real. When you look like us, it's always a possibility that, you might get into a situation that it's going to be really hard to get out of. So I think that weight that's on us every day, that thought process that's on us every day, is something that grows heavier and heavier. And I think we all tired, I think we all tired.
Now, this is a film that saw the return of Lauren London to the big screen. And we know that a lot of that was because of you. You reached out and were like, hey, look, delicately, hey, if you're ready, like we would love to have you. And you said she was, agreeing and excited to be back on the screen. What was that experience like? This film saw a lot of things that may have been triggering for her, even in the way that she goes out in the film was kind of full circle, if you will. What was that like?
It was a special experience. I think when we were figuring out who we wanted to to offer the role to, there were some similarities there that you had to be very delicate. You had to be very respectful of that. And when I asked her, she was like, and I was like, all right, but she said, send me the script. So I sent her the script, and she was really responsive to it. She really was like, okay, I have something to offer. I can I can share something with this character, with me. And the scenes that we shot on set, some of them didn't make it to the movie, but it was a real special experience, man. Something that I'll take with me for the rest of my life, man. It's her grief and what she's, been through and still currently going through is something that, I wouldn't have been able to give the depth that I tried to give to John without having those conversations with her. And the fact that she did open up about that, in a real way was, I felt lucky, and privileged, so, and like you said, we miss her in film and television. So to be able to kind of have her come back on this project with us, we were just really blessed to have her. So, it was an awesome experience.
Now, on a bit of a lighter note, in the film, you told Lauren, it was a quick line. It was something like, man, it turns me on when I see you wearing my socks. Is Michael B. Jordan into stuff like that? And not, what is something that Michael B. Jordan is like, man, that's my little, that's my little thing.
Oh man, that was such a random line. We were trying to figure out ways that we got to get John downstairs, you know what I'm saying? Within the scene, and we were just throwing some ad-libs around and we were just messing around. So that was funny. But nah, the socks ain't it. But what am I into, man?
What is your little I mean, we all got them. What is your little thing?
I mean, listen, if you could feed me, if you could cook food for me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm full and food was tasting fire, that puts me in a good mood, man. It puts me in a happy place.
They say that the easiest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And so that is the case for you?
Yep. 1000%, man.
Is it annoying having to get asked in every interview about wifey? Cause this wasn't a thing that you had to deal with before. And now that you're in this public relationship, I imagine it gets frustrating. Do you feel that?
It is what it is. I when you I've intentionally not had my I've intentionally had my private life private, you know what I'm saying, my personal life, you know what I'm saying, to myself, but at the same time, you know, wanting to just kind of, you know, put it out there so people would stop asking so much. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, cool, it's like not a mystery anymore. Cool, got it, it's out there, but it gets kind of reversed on me a little bit. But at the same time, it is what it is. I'm always going to continue to keep that part of my life to myself as much as possible. But yeah, it is. You know me, I don't really answer anything I don't want to, and I always give respect. So you know, I want to receive the same thing. So that's kind of how it is.
Now, you've said that you get roasted in all of your group chats for being the sexiest man alive from People magazine. You know, it's a blessing and a curse, so they say, a heavy cross to bear. But who that we know has roasted you the worst when it comes to being the sexiest man alive?
That you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jamie Foxx really, I mean, he got jokes for days. So I think it was a little bit of that, but it's always a lot of love. Like I'm telling you, it's a gift and a curse. Like they'll roast you, but then, you know, be super proud of you too. So I think Jamie's definitely got on me a bit, but it's mostly like my inner circle, like my team, you know, people that like really know me the most, that really kind of like, they don't hold anything back. It's like shots for days.
Yeah. Now you know you're facing this criticism and these shots from your inner people. I'm wondering how you face or how you tackle criticism that comes on the internet. You know, people always have a lot of things to say. Whether you're as accomplished as you are, it really doesn't matter. People will always have negative things to say. When you see people saying things about your acting or about what you bring to the table, how do you even handle those statements?
I mean, I think you know, hindsight is everything, right? Like perspective is everything. So I think in the moment, you know, sometimes, you know, something may, you know, you might want to like respond to one comment or respond to, you know, one thing, but like, what good is it going to do? You know, am I going to validate that with a response? Am I going to like, you know, give somebody the attention that they don't really like, you know what I'm saying, that they don't really deserve? But it's you just gotta like kind of just let it roll off your shoulder. You can't make everybody happy. You can have the best intentions in the world. You can have the, you know, the purest heart. You can want to do all the right things and, you know, make everybody happy. But at the same time, somebody's gonna have something to say. So when you kind of look at, I mean, I think it has. I think when you get older, you know, and I guess you become more secure, you know what I'm saying, with yourself, you know, with, you know, what you're doing. Everybody else's opinion, you know, don't really matter, you know? So yeah, I mean, don't we all have moments where we might read something that, you know, you emotionally might get like, oh shit, I want to respond to this real quick. Sometimes for me, just like writing something and just deleting it, like, all right, cool, got it out. At least I said it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like I call one of my homies or, you know, people that really know me, and we'll vent and we'll talk shit, and then, all right, cool, moving on. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little of that, you know, you go through that process, but for the most part, you know, people are going to say what they want, but I'm happy, man. And I'm extremely blessed, and I'm going to keep doing what I got to do so they can continue to watch. You know what I mean? Just keep watching. Yeah. I'll be good.
I love that energy. We saw that you linked up with Michael B. Jordan. We saw you link up with Drake and Damson Idris the other day. What is the link up with, you know, this international link up, you know, with the UK in the building, and then Newark, New Jersey in the building, and then Toronto in the building as well?
Oh man, it's always love, man. Me and, you know, Drake's been cool for a minute, Damson as well. So it's like, you know, it's rare sometimes that we're all in the same place at the same time. I was out there for my boy's birthday and randomly ran into them cats, and then just had a cool night, man. It's just great conversations, a lot of laughs, you know. Yeah, man, those are some solid brothers, man. And, you know, everybody doing their thing. So it's good to kind of get different perspectives. You know what I mean? Like what's going on with you, you know, finding ways to work together, you know what I'm saying? Finding ways to collab, whatever that may be. But it's always good to get minds together who are like-minded, you know what I mean? And have a conversation, some real conversations. It's a good break from the everyday hustle and grind, or the, you know, the people that you just, I don't know, just meet in passing. So it's cool to have like a little circle of like-minded individuals to have some good conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Where lastly, we've seen, Damson kind of foray into the forefront, with women just absolutely gushing over him. Same goes for you, and obviously the same goes for Drake. Is there a more powerful trio, you think, when it comes to Man Crush Mondays? Is this the strongest collective of Man Crush Mondays we've ever seen?
I don't know, man. I think, man, I mean, you got the, I don't know, man. That was
like every box,
It was a good big three. It was a good big three. I think, just like you see in the league, what I'm saying? You see a lot of big threes starting to pop up places. That was a cool team up.
And I got a team up for sure. All right, Mike, I appreciate you. Lastly here, Without Remorse is out right now. What do you want people to take away from the film?
Oh man, great date night movie. Have fun, talk to the screen, yell at the movie. You know how we do when we get excited and get pumped about things. And just know it's going to be a lot of action and no remorse. Check it out.